apart frame by frame, and I'll start pointing out some other stuff. Okay, so I had to go back to my old system here, so bear with me as we go through this here. So we're going to pause. Whoops. Right about here. Right as this explosion first starts to come out. We'll back it up a little bit. Boom. Okay. So this was a long duration CME, and you can see over here the instrument's reacting to it for quite a while here before it really even moves out. Now it starts to emerge from behind the occulter here, and you can see over here this little black dot is this little dark patch right here. Here's our object. There's some kind of object right here that hit the magnetic field of the sun and caused this huge CME. It's either got some kind of magnetic field around it that's causing this, or when it collides with the outer shells of the magnetosphere of the sun, it causes these big splashes and causes these huge CMEs. But as we progress, I want you to watch, look over here. You can still see it over here. Here you can clearly see it. It's still right here in the middle. And then over on this side you can see as it moved out. Okay, so let's back up through this a little bit, because about here, I want to zoom in on this for you, so give me a minute here. Got to go back to the old style of doing this, so bear with me here. Let's get this out of the way. Pull this up a little bit. Boom. Okay. Now, I want you to look at this object. It has a diamond type shape to it. If you tilt your head, it's a square. But there's a straight edge here, a 90-degree turn, a straight edge here, an edge here, and an edge here. There's a diamond shape to this object right here. And we'll go into other frames too, where you can see it. So let me zoom back out. Let me go one more frame here. Bear with me as we zoom in again on this, because this next frame also has the diamond shape to it. Hopefully the camera's picking this up, but you can clearly see this edge right here, boom, turns 90 degrees up here, and the shadow is a diamond shape right there. Now, let's back out of this. So most of these objects are spherical, they're round. Sometimes we get disc-shaped objects coming out of it. And over on this side, you can't really see it because it's all draped in this white here. So, but what's neat about this side is sometimes it does a ghost image and reveals what was hidden in here. So here's our object moving out. It's right in here in this area. But then this black streak right here is a ghost of the previous explosion. This is almost like a negative of the frame or 3 frames before. And if we go over to this one now, because I want you to see what's going on over here. Get in a little tighter. Can you guys see this diamond shape right here? Boom, there's our object, and it was captured in the ghost image of this explosion here. So this is like the negative or ghost image of the previous explosion, and here it is. Here's our diamond shaped object captured over on this side. So let's back out of it a little bit. And we'll progress through this. Now you can see here's our object right here. Let me get this back up better right there. So back up a frame here. So here's our little diamond object right here. We go to the next frame. Here's our little image right here. Almost looks like it has two eyes and a mouth. Okay, and that was the object causing this huge CME. Okay, then down here we got some other activity. And if I back this forward, go forward and backward, we got two objects. There's a white one here that just appears and starts moving out, just as another blacker, darker one appears right next to it and moves in. And then a third one appears here in the middle, and it starts to move in. And as it does, whoops, as it does, right here, this one moving in, it causes a CME. The sun actually reaches out to this object that's moving in. Now, we've seen a lot of this material moving inward towards the sun, and I've never seen it reach out to these objects yet. So this is a first right here. It doesn't look like much, but it's a big deal because as it progresses, it drapes over this object, leaving a wake behind it. And then I'm going to put this into motion now. And now let's focus down here on this activity. Right after the blast, there you see the two objects, one going in, one coming out. Almost looks like something's twisting right there. And then this third object comes in and causes a small CME that drapes over it. Okay, so now I think I can do this. There we go. Yeah, there's a good image of it. So we got three different objects, one going in, one coming out, the second one going in, and the sun reaches out with the CME and hits this third object right there, and you can see the wake of the flow going over it, and the object continues to move in. So hopefully the camera's picking this up here, because that's showing there's an object there, some kind of solid object that the sun latches onto, reaches out to it, and you can see the instrument react to it, and then this CME drapes over this object, leaving the little wake as it moves inward. Usually they're moving outward and leaving a wake. This one's leaving a wake as it moves in. So this is a first. You know, we're having all these new first kind of activity going on around the sun. And lately it's been this inward flow. And we had inward flow up at the North Pole, but now it's down at the south here again. We got inward flow up here around the other sides and stuff. You can see after the big explosion, more inward flow. Well, out there. Scooch this down here a little bit. So yeah, you can see there's more inward flow going on up here. Ah, what happened there? All right, bear with me for a second. I don't want my schedule scanned. There we go. Sorry about that. So back, you guys can see the flow that I'm talking about, and never has it like reached out and struck an object or whatever this is coming in. So let me roll it up here one more time, put it right in the field of view there for you guys. So a lot of strange activity going on here on the sun. And a lot of different firsts. This is a huge blast. I saw a couple other instruments that show that we're just going to get a glancing blow from this one. It's not Earth directed, but we will catch just maybe the edge of this CME right here. And I'd like to see somebody at NASA explain what's going on down here, because you can see that object moving in, and then it causes the CME to come out and drape over it. Just zoom in a little bit more, one more time on this one, because I want you guys to get the full effect here. All right. Yeah, you can totally see this object continue to move in as the material goes over it and past it, and you can see the little streaks. Let me pause it on one of these streaks right here if I can. Yeah, so here's our object, and here's this white streak that's coming off, the plasma streaking over it and leaving a wake coming off this object. So here's the object's wake right there. Let's go a couple, whoops, where's my arrow here? Yeah, that was it. So now let's back out of this. And there was something else in here that caught my eye, and I just want to see if I can pause it right. Oh, right there. So let's go a few frames before. Okay. Maybe zoom back out. What I'm pointing out is this little object right here, this little streak. Usually our streaks are always straight, or there's like two little things or whatever. This one has a curvature to it. So whatever made this changed direction a little bit. It's just a different kind of streak. Everything usually has a straight line or a straight trajectory, or it's some straight cylinder type ship, but this one has a slight curve to it. So it just makes me wonder if, this is another little ship dancing around out here that we caught right before going into the sun or something. And I don't know if we can catch it very well on this one, but there's another one of those little streaks going on over here, which looks like another ship with a little tail or something to it. But we're used to seeing all that. But for this CME, this little incident down below here was pretty significant. It's a new, like I said, a new kind of phenomenon that we're capturing. And here, this side captured it too. It's right here. So, I just wonder what's going on right here. Let me put this back into motion again. So yeah, you can see we had this object cause this huge CME over here. And then we got this kind of activity going on down here, swirling around, objects coming out and going in at the same time. One of them causing a little CME right there. So, I think that was all that I had to point out in this one, because there sure is a lot going on. There's another little jet coming off over here, and let's see if this will let me back up real quick while we're here. Something on the 10th I want to show you. If it'll let it download. Okay, give it just a second to finish downloading there. And this is back on the 10th. And we had a couple of weird CMEs. This one over here took a long time. It started off with this big blast with an object captured in it. But what I wanted to point out in here was these two little sun diving comets down here, because we're going to come zoom in on those so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. All right. So, after the big blast here, two little sun diving comets there and there come racing in, and then they burn up as they go in towards, the closer they get to the sun, they burn up. It takes a pretty good sized comet to not burn up or be in a trajectory far enough away from the sun to where it doesn't burn up. But these are like sun divers or sun skimmers or whatever, but they burned up. Now I want you to look, these are distinctive. They don't look like these other objects, this other flow that's going in. So I don't believe that the flow, these objects we see going in, are sun diving comets, because they don't look anything like this. And here's two of them right back to back right there going into the sun, and I just wanted you guys to get a reference of what a sun-diving comet looks like compared to what we're seeing going on in here. This is a different kind of flow. And let's just back out of it real quick. And you can see that we've had all kinds of flow going inward and then objects coming out. There's some kind of twisted magnetic field right there. And let's see if we can pause right on the very beginning of it. Because it picks up with this object right here. A pretty good size object causing a CME. You can clearly see it right in here. There's probably its magnetic field right here with a smaller object in the middle. Over on this side, it almost looks like it's more of a bigger, rounder object right here. So that's the opening frame. And you can see it kind of maintains its structure and its shape as it moves out. And this one went just underneath the stereo A here, not underneath it, but pretty close, off to the left and underneath it. So we're lucky that it didn't come out and hit the satellite and take out the camera. And then in this one up here, there's a small object in here. Let's see if we can, here. It's really hard to see in that one, but what I wanted you guys to see was a reference to these little sun-diving comets, because this stuff doesn't behave like these things do. So I think that's about it for tonight. Let's go back here and let that play on the loop real quick. Close out with that right there. So yeah, we got a few days where there was, minimal activity on the sun, and now here we are in the 13th, and all of a sudden we got, boom, huge blast. This weird activity going on down here, objects coming in, going out at the same time as one causing a CME now. Now that one is significant because I've never seen one of these objects in the flow have the sun reach out with a CME and hit it, strike it, and go over it. That kind of proves that these CMEs are reacting to these objects. It's more than just a blast with a little core or something in it. These things are causing these CMEs. So that's it for now. I love you all. I miss you all. God bless you all. And until my next video, bye.